Welcome to Jacksonville, Alabama, a hidden gem a few miles from the border of Georgia and home to the Gamecocks of Jacksonville State, where these fans are fired up for this showdown about to play out on Burgess Snow Field. This is the type of early season game you look forward to, an opportunity to make a statement in a top 10 showdown. As we see the number 7 team in the country, the Sam Houston Bearcats, taking on the 5th-ranked team in the land, the Jacksonville State Gamecocks. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, let's get this thing started. The Bearcats will put total leather and we'll get started. Oh, he's going to take a chance and bring it out. No idea what he could have been thinking to try to return that one, and they stop him at the 7. Well, this is not what the doctor ordered in terms of starting field position. They'll run it behind the big guys on the left. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage. Here's why this one's so much fun, guys. Early in the season, sort of a proving ground type of game for a couple of squads that believe they could win it all.
And we've heard so much in this offseason, right, about both of these teams and top 10 teams preseason. Now you get a chance to prove it. Like, now you get a chance to see who are the dudes on the squad. These are always fun early in the season, Jesse.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to find out what these teams are about because we've seen both teams beat up on weaker competition. We know they're both very talented, but let's see good against good and find out what they are.
1st and 10 from their own 17. Out of the gun to give to the back. They stop him after a 6-yard run out to the 20. People like to say conference affiliation doesn't matter, but you get the SEC against the Big Ten, and there's no denying there's a little extra juice in the building.
Definitely extra juice. The best 2 conferences, the biggest conferences, Palmer. Everybody talks about these being the power brokers and deciding the future of college football, so yes, it matters.
A lot of blue bloods in both conferences, David, you're right. I think it's something players are also very aware of, too, is having that conference pride, wanting to win this game, representing the rest of the teams in their conference.
He's going to have enough to pick up the 1st down as they stop him at the 33-yard line. The Gamecocks are marching down the field. They'll see if they can find some running room on the right here. Pretty good effort on that one to work his way up to the 42. This is the kind of game, a top 25 matchup in the early season, that you look for when you're trying to build your resume.
Yeah, these are so fun because as a player you kind of get bored if you don't get challenged, but when you got an early season challenge like this, all the adrenaline, all the juice, Palmer, you're ready to rock and roll.
I love this. We've had this game circled for a long time because we learn a lot in these types of games. What are these teams about? Which conferences are better? You're going to get a lot of answers today.
Quarterback will audible. Soften him up with a run. Now to throw. And they couldn't hold off the heat, and he goes down with the sack.
Yeah, and I like teams that are aggressive. When offenses go empty and spread you out, you only got so many guys to protect your quarterback, and the linebacker comes through and hammers the quarterback and gets the sack.
On 2nd down, he's looking downfield. Grabbed in the middle, it's Cavazos. Couple of guys there to get him on the ground.
Man, these plays are really, really simple. Really easy to run. I like it. Just drop back as a quarterback, see the big fella, wait for him to get open, hit him, get a nice positive gain.
3rd and short from the 49. Is this 4-down territory? Looking to move the chains. They throw it complete to the left. He will step out of bounds, but not before the big pickup and a 1st down for this offense. And the Gamecocks come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Running to the left. Finally run out of bounds, but he has this offense rolling with a first down.
I think throughout the week in practice, when they were game planning their opening script, I don't even know if they envisioned it going as well as it has. This has been beautiful. Nice balance, really nice rhythm. It feels like everything they're dialing up here on their first drive of the game is working to perfection.
And he's knocked down, but not before moving the chain.
Man, this guy is exciting to watch. When he has the ball in his hands, he can make magic happen. They're going to throw it to him. They're going to hand it off to him. They're going to get him the ball in a variety of ways, and they're doing it early in this game.
Gets it inside the 10, picks up a yard. They'll mark it at the 9. Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. The run up the middle, trying to find its way to the goal line. And they're finally able to get him on the ground at the 1.
Well, he gets tackled down at the 1-yard line, so offensively, do you feel confident enough on 3rd here trying to hand it off again?
Yeah, and I'm taking both these downs, and I'm coming downhill. I'm running the football, trying to get this in the end zone. I only got a yard to go.
Gets it into the end zone, but wait a minute. We'll have to check out the laundry on the field. Defense was a little anxious there, got caught offside. He will be declined and give him the touchdown. And he's got the extra point, and it's 7-0 to start this one. They held the ball for 15 plays on that touchdown drive. And they capped it off with a 1-yard plunge. Oh, he's going to take a chance. Pulled down at the 18, and the decision to bring it out of the end zone was not a good one. Line gets set, first down. Here's the handoff. Keeps the legs moving. Now they've got a little room to work with. They're out to the 28 with a first down.
And I don't care if I get it by 2, by 20, by 30, by 40. I just want to get the first down, understanding the situation, understanding where the sticks are. Doesn't have to be sexy, but I got to make sure I get to that stick, get to the first down mark.
They opened the lane, and he hit it a gain of 5 out to the 33. Halfway there on first down, it's 2nd and 5. They want to run it left here. Just willed his way for a couple out to the 35.
The big defensive tackles in the middle, they're not always the best pass rushers, but they are strong, and I say country strong. They put their hands on you, you feel it. They lock people out on the line of scrimmage. They create separation. They wrap running backs up, and usually they don't get out of the midst of those big boys.
The Bearcats will send out the punt unit. They'll have to punt for the first time this afternoon. Catch is made at the 15. He'll get it to about the 25 before they put a stop to the return. Jacksonville State has it back, and the Gamecocks will go to work. That running game was impressive, taking them right down for a touchdown last time, David.
Yeah, just mauling. No secret play calls, just simply we are more physical than you, and we're pounding the football right at you.
So if you're on offense this next drive, take a look at their safeties and see if they're creeping up into the box. Because of your success running the football, this might be time to take a shot down the field and play action.
Getting some heat. Takes a shot as he lets it go. Intercepted. Never really got that return cranking, but the offense is set up at the 30.
Sometimes the quarterback puts that zip on it, and you can hear it, and sometimes he uses the lob wedge where it takes a little time to get there. That time, he used the lob wedge, and the defender can't.
And that ball is picked off. Trying to take it back. And he will roll into the end zone. Touchdown, Gamecocks! What a play by this defense with the pick six.
And how about the defender? Exactly what you're supposed to do. Breaks on the football, makes the interception. Everybody on defense, we taught you offense. Go lay some blocks so my guy can get it and take it back to the house.
They're about to kick it away, and the defense probably can't wait to get back out there after the pick six. From back of the end zone, he'll bring it out. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. The Bearcat offense ready to go back to work. To say this has been a slow start is a bit of an understatement, and they really need to get it going here, Jesse.
That's right. The opponent, they're firing on all cylinders right out of the gate. Offensively, for this unit, they've been slow and struggling. They need an explosive play to wake themselves up.
Yeah, and it's just the first quarter, so it's not the end of the world. You've seen slow starts, but you got to continue to pick and pick and pick until you find that play or that scheme that you can use against this defense.
He'll slither through and pick up 3 and get it out to the 10-yard line.
And those physical runs take a toll. It might not be a big game now, but down the road, third, fourth quarter, late in the ball games, they tend to turn into bigger runs.
Dialing up a second down pass play. Quick completion on the out route. They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks. As they get set to snap it, just about to reach the end of the quarter. On 3rd and long, trying to have a big completion here. It's complete to the right. They get him on the ground, and with that, we'll head to the second quarter.
That's the end of the first quarter. With the score, Jacksonville State 14, Sam Houston 0.
First down to start the drive after the break. Try to get the edge with a quick touch pass. He's there to make the stop, and they threw it in reverse, losing yardage on that play.
The first thing you have to do to make these plays successful offensively is I have to block the edge. I got to get my speedster in space. They didn't do a good job of getting that guy out there in space where he could really use his jets. Nice job by the defense understanding it, seeing it, rallying to it, and tackling that guy for a loss.
Looking to throw on second down. Quickly out to the tight end. And they'll finally get him down after a terrific pickup. Ever since they invented the forward pass, the tight ends have been running the drag and getting the first down.
I think it's because the tight ends is so much versatility. You know, they can block and stay in the formation, or they can release and come out. But either way, if the quarterback's patient, most of the time, that drag route's going to come open.
After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line, 2nd and 7. Power football with the run. Really nice stop there from this senior leader.
The run game just has not been working for this offense all game long. You saw it on that last play as well. Just not getting enough push up front on the offensive line. They haven't been physical.
Ball's at the 47. They're looking at a 3rd down and short. Give to the back.
Keep the foot on the pedal if you're on offense here. You got that yardage. Yeah, you didn't get the first down, but you've set yourself up now to go for it here and keep this drive alive.
This is the absolute right call. They're going for it on 4th down. They'll try to pick up the first. Dragged down to the turf, but not before getting the first down. The Bearcats are in the hurry-up.
Yeah, and just stay aggressive if you're on offense, right? You're now into the opponent's territory. It's 4th down. Dial up your best 4th down play. Keep this drive going.
They're going to ride this running back.
Small gain, I know, but again, the defense knows he's going to run the football. He's willing to run the football, not just drop back and pass. Make him honor the run game. You got to do a lot of this.
Got 3 on 1st down at 2nd and 7. He's looking to throw. Pressure is effective from the defense. They knock him down just behind the midfield stripe at the 48. On 3rd and long, doesn't need to take the check down. Dumps it to the back. Got his man on the right. And he's not going to get there. The defense stands tall and makes the stop.
A nice job of awareness on defense there on that third down. You know, you're expecting the offense to throw the football, but it's not just going to be receivers or tight ends you got to worry about. You got to keep your eye on where that running back is. They knew exactly where he would be, and they were able to make the tackle setting up for it.
On fourth down, going to the air. The incomplete pass makes this series end in frustration as they turn it over on down.
And they decide to go for it. They decide to be aggressive, try to throw the football down the field. Receiver, quarterback, not on the same page. No dice, turnover on downs.
At midfield, he's got room. And the ball squirted out. And they are fortunate to avoid the turnover as the fumble goes out of bounds.
Well, they got a really nice drive going on offense. They're on their opponent's side of the field, but you're not going to come away with any points if you turn it over. And they've got to do a better job of ball security. Very, very lucky that ball went out of bounds.
Quickly complete.
For a wide receiver screen to work, you've got to have better blocking out in front by other receivers, and they're just not physical enough at the point on that last play.
They'll give it to the back. Not a whole lot of progress made there on the short run.
You know, I think a big part of this isn't necessarily scoring a touchdown on that play, but you're just trying to get your offensive line in the rhythm of the game. Let those big fellas get lathered up.
Feeling some heat. A little release to the back. On the move in the 30. Really confident throw and catch there. Big pickup, and they have a first down.
And that's why this guy is such a weapon in this offense, because you don't have to throw it far downfield. Just get the ball in his hands. He catches it close to the line of scrimmage, but look what he was able to do after the catch. He gets an explosive play for this offense.
The Gamecocks are flying down the field. They'll go with a direct snap. And a good, solid pickup before the defense cuts him down.
Well, this offense came into the game knowing they wanted to be physical. They wanted to establish the line of scrimmage, and they're running downhill right at this defense, and they're churning out positive yardage early.
Pulls it and fires to the left. They make the stop, but the sweet pull and catch is plenty to give them a first down.
It is so good for an offense early in the game to get in a rhythm and to start stringing first downs together. It makes the game really easy and puts that defense in a situation where they're starting to get tired. They want to sub. They want to get other guys in the field. Stringing first downs together like this makes it hard to defend.
Going to work on second down, and the red zone is still some ground to cover to pick up that first down. They'll go to the ground. He'll be brought down at the 5-yard line, and this defense is on its heels.
At the 5-yard line. Third down coming up.
Not a lot of ground to cover and not much to defend. A big third down in the red zone. Leaves it with the back. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Jacksonville State. No step back in week 3. They have been sharp as they extend the lead. And the extra point is true, and the lead balloons to 21. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Guys, two very different emotions inside the locker rooms of those top 15 teams who did battle today. Rice took care of business today. I think their coach had their attention all week. And the end result was a focused group of Owls that fired on all cylinders. We'll see a lot of games this week, but few will have as much of an impact on the new top 25 poll next week as this one, gentlemen.
And Kevin Connors keeping an eye on everything all over the country. Sounds like they had a good one there. Hit hard just as he released it on first down and just couldn't get it to the receiver. Wants to throw on second down. He hurls one deep down the left side. And they can't hook up. Going for the big play on second down. Now it's third down. And the Bearcats want to pick up the tempo. DBs will try to keep everything in front. On 3rd and long, try to convert through the air. Unloads to the wideout. And it's picked off. Didn't get much on the return, but what a huge play, and they are in business at the 24.
This is obviously not a great start for this quarterback here. 2 interceptions already in this game. He's got to do a much better job with his decision-making.
Guys, we'll see what Jacksonville State can get going on O. Quickly complete. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few. The offense quickly calls timeout to stop the clock.
QB, excellent location on that throw. Out route against man coverage, you cannot miss. If you throw that behind, that might be a pick 6. So nice job by the quarterback with his accuracy.
He makes the connection. He's run out of bounds, but not before turning in a big pickup and moving the sticks for a first down. This offense has been a juggernaut, and they have a chance to pad their total just before halftime. Gets it out quickly. Touchdown, Jacksonville State! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house.
One thing this team has shown really this year, it does not take them long to find their footing. They get off to fast starts. That was critical for them winning their first game, and you've seen it here in this one too. They show up ready to go. There's no sleepwalking. I think you got to give this coaching staff a ton of credit for putting their players in good positions to have success.
He'll bring it back from inside his 5. And they'll haul down the returner to start us on the next drive. Just over 20 seconds to play before halftime. They'll have it 1st and 10. Trying to start the drive with a pass. Snags it over the middle. Now they've got even more breathing room out to the 31 and a fresh set of downs. A timeout is called as this offense tries to find a way to get more points on the board before the half. It's 1st and 10 from the 31. He's going to pass. He lofts one down the sideline. That one will be incomplete, and we are down to 10 seconds to go.
And listen, as a quarterback, you're trying to find the matchup, trying to find who's open. I don't know if anybody was open, but that was not a greatly thrown football. I don't know if it was miscommunication, but the ball thrown out of bounds and just on to the next down.
Going back to the well, another deep ball. And that is interception number 3 on the day. They got it down pretty quickly after the pick, but now they've got it at the 15-yard line.
Well, that's the second pick in as many series now for this quarterback. But, David, I love the defense right now and the way they're reading and reacting to all these route concepts. I mean, they are all over these guys on the back end.
All over the field, making plays. Listen, you're supposed to see the quarterback break on the football. You've seen several breaks on the football. Your job is to know what the offense does really, really well. And you can tell this defense is dialed in, and they know exactly what this offense wants to accomplish.
We've played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update. Oh, he's going to go for the return. Stopped at the 17, and he's probably second-guessing that return. Looking for a productive play on 1st down. He'll start this 3rd quarter with a run. He was able to reach into his bag of tricks and use it to pick up a few extra yards. The Bearcats will hustle to the line. They feed him again. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
Defense thinking run all the way, and you could tell they sell out. They stuff the run. Now it's 3rd and short. Will they run again? You're going to force them to pass the football.
Bully ball on 3rd and short. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
And it's been a surprise today for this offense. Like, coming into the game, we all talked about it. We thought they'd be able to run against this defense that's been run on a lot, and this offense just can't get the running game going. It'll be interesting to see what they do to try to change it up, but somehow, some way, they need that physical ground game.
4th down, and the punt team sends it the other way. He only needs a sliver of daylight. Return's going to get it up around midfield. He'll be down at the 49-yard line. Jacksonville State has it back, and the Gamecocks will go to work. This offense has really been clicking in the game so far, Jesse.
No doubt. Everything their play caller is dialing up, these guys offensively have been able to go out and execute.
Yeah, and it's just maintaining the lead. Keep doing what you've been doing. You got a big lead. Let's just keep piling it on until they find an answer.
Still running at the 40. And he's brought down after a nice game.
You know, you start day one training camp running your base runs. You need a few yards, you run these plays. You need a first down, you run these plays. You rep them over and over and over again. Not sexy, they're not pretty, but in the end, they're effective, and they get you that new set of downs when you need them.
You know, it's so important for offenses to want to keep 3rd downs manageable. The way you do that is by having success like that, running the football on 1st down.
Solid pickup of 4 on 1st down. It's 2nd and 6.
Get set.
Wide receiver coming across in motion. Touch pass on the jet sweep. The expressway is wide open. And how much running room have they been able to find on the ground? Man, are they piling up some gaudy rushing stats. And the Gamecocks have it in scoring position on 1st and goal. Throw toward the end zone, picked off right at the goal line. And after the interception and the turnover, this defense has set its offense up for business.
Have a day, young fella. 2 interceptions already? That's 3, 4, 5, 6 games for some people. A hot start, catching the football. He's acting like he's playing wide receiver out there. I might think about trying a different DB.
Out of the backfield, he's open. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain.
Listen, running backs are not just running backs anymore. You're going to be a wide receiver in today's football, and a great job sneaking out of the backfield, getting them the football, letting them get some positive yards.
Touch pass on the jet sweep. That's what you expect from a senior. Don't give them any extra yards. Great tackle there.
Well, and on these little push passes, timing is so important. You're trying to snap it right as he's getting a full head of steam. When he gets the ball, he's hitting the outside, and David, it puts the defense in such a difficult spot.
You immediately have to be rotating when you see that motion, so everybody's got to communicate and kind of bump over. That's why offenses love to run it. It makes the defense communicate and see if you can just get him out of a spot.
And the Bearcats getting set on 1st and 10.
And that's a 1st down for the offense.
He wants to throw. They're bringing heat. And they got him. He'll get him down for the sack.
That's his 2nd sack of the ball game. That dude is getting after the quarterback offensively. What's my adjustment? First of all, I'm going to roll out away from him. I'm going to double team him. Let somebody else beat me, not that guy, because his speed off the edge is killing me.
He's going to throw deep right side. Another interception. This guy just can't find his own players. Taking it the other way. And what a big play here, and the return takes him back inside the 25.
It has just been that kind of day for this guy. 4 picks now thrown in this game. He's never been able to get into a rhythm. He just hasn't been throwing the football accurately. This is a game he would like to soon forget.
Yeah, and listen, the offense has had their way, and they've had so much success and so much production. But listen, at least the defense got a rep. You know, maybe this gets you a spark. Maybe this gets you some energy. Maybe we'll see a little bit more life from this defense.
Yeah, they may not win the game, but I think this defensive coaching staff at this point, based on how this game has gone, they're just trying to find things to build off of. Maybe that's something they can point to as they get ready for their next opponent, of things they did right and things that they got to do more consistently moving forward.
Snap it to the back. And they make the tackle, but he has plenty for the 1st down.
Well, the defense is on their heels right now. They're going to have to find a way to stop this guy. When he's got a head of steam, boy, he is hard to bring down.
So close to cashing it in for this offense. Quarterback now breaking the field. Looking to the end zone. And it's picked off for the third time today. And he's brought down, and this defense gets the ball back for its own.
It's really hard when that quarterback gets outside the pocket because it cuts off half of the field. Once he starts to roll out, everybody starts to sprint to the other side of the field. You know you're not going to throw it across your body going to the right. Great job by the defense. Close.
He lost it high and deep down the left side. It's complete. A huge pickup. Oh, look out. There he goes. Touchdown, Bearcats. And once he found daylight, it was Katie bar the door, baby.
Number 8.
What an enormous play, the 99-yard touchdown pass. But, Palmer, when you're in that end zone and you're backed up and you could take a safety, what's going through your head?
Oh, man, your clock's going off. You know you got to get the football out quick, but I'll tell you, you're also licking your chops because you know in this area of the field, you probably have one-on-one opportunities to the outside. So if you get time and you're able to make an accurate throw, you can hit Hader, and they just did right there, going 99 yards to the crib.
Guys, we'll see what Jacksonville State can get going on home. And boy, they missed an opportunity last time throwing that pick in the red zone, David.
Yeah, and you got to put that frustration behind you. You can't turn it over. That's a cardinal sin. You know better than that, Jesse. You can't take points off the board, but you got to move on.
You do. I think he just got way too overeager down in the red zone that last drive. So just come out here, trust your reads, trust what your coaches have told you to do, and just go out and execute the offense.
Really good job making a play, getting it out to the 24 and moving those chains.
I tell you what, with this kind of success on the ground, I think you two knuckleheads could call plays. I mean, that's how easy it is for this offense right now. They got the ground game working. It's really easy. Now you can open up for other things, but you guys could even try your hand because they're dominating right now.
1st and 10 from their own 24-yard line. Linebackers moving, trying to confuse the quarterback. Coming after him. And this sophomore able to wreak some havoc and get the sack. If it works. They tried to follow up the big run with a pass and didn't work out for them.
Now, and how about a good job by the defense? You know, sometimes when you give up runs, you get more aggressive. You want to bring more guys to the line of scrimmage, and you want to overreact. The defense stayed calm, stayed true, came up with a big sack the next play.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter. With the score, Jacksonville State 28, Sam Houston 7.
Okay, ready?
2nd down here as they go back to work after the break.
Fire!
Direct snap. And they'll stop him just short of the 1st down, just inches away from moving the sticks.
And that's another productive run. This offense has had a bunch of them today, and the running back, I think this lead was built on this guy. He's done a great job all game long, setting the tone, and I think that's why this offense has been successful.
He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
And the defense is going to have more plays like this. He has had a ball game so far, running wild all day long. Defense finally comes up with a stop. Maybe get a little momentum here.
Over 100 yards already in this game. So if I'm on defense here, I'm adding more guys to the box, anticipating that they're going to continue to give this guy touches today.
Looks as if he's going to run it. Really nice pickup there as they have it out to the 44 with the 1st down.
And I got to be ready mentally and physically. Mentally, I got to know exactly where the sticks are. 4th and 2. Can't dilly-dally around. Got to run physical. Got to break tackles. Got to go through people. Whatever I need to do to get that 2 yards. Nice job running the football.
And he was off to the races. Finally tripped up at the 36.
And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Just keep running the football. Everything is going according to plan right now. They've been able to stay on the field. They put some nice plays together back to back to back, and they're bleeding the clock. This is exactly what you practice for situations like this. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Across the 25, he's got room. He's run out of bounds, but a big play on that one, and it'll be a 1st down.
if this offense can keep that rolling, if they can keep the physical ground game and continue to add these plays up as they go along, long drives, eat the clock with the lead, this coach will be ecstatic.
The give to the tailback.
And that running back essentially just did everything right. Not only did he rip off a 9-yard run with the lead late in the game, but he stayed in bounds. He had the awareness that if I stay in bounds, the clock keeps running, and it increases our chances of winning this game.
Second down coming up on this red zone opportunity. He's got it on the right. Touchdown, Gamecocks! And the punishment has been extended. They add on to this lead, and it looks as if they'll be moving to 2-0.
There's no mercy rule in college football, man. They've got a huge lead here in the fourth quarter. They are still chucking it, and they are still scoring.
They're lining up to kick it off, and he ought to be able to knock this one anywhere he wants after that extra 15 yards with the roughing the kicker. Bringing it back. No idea what he could have been thinking to try to return that one, and they stop him at the 7. The offense starts this drive in the shadow of its own end zone. Trying to find his man on first down. Using his legs, keeping his eyes downfield. And the ball's on the ground. Once that ball was loose, offense didn't have a chance. Defenders everywhere. It's a turnover.
And, man, I love my quarterbacks that want to make plays and make those big plays and scramble around and get away from people, but you got to tuck that football away when you're going to run through arm tackles and people are around you diving. Make sure you got that thing locked up. He didn't. Defense took advantage of it.
They'll give him maybe one on the play. It's down to the 20. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. They'll go with a direct snap. Knocked down after a pickup of 6, and they're trying to impose their will in the red zone. Balls at the 13.
It's going to be important this offensive line is able to get a little bit of push. Just got to give this guy an inch, a little crease, and he can make yards for it.
Now the quarterback changing the original play call. He wants it all. Touchdown, Gamecock! And the pummeling has started. That lead's a little more comfortable now as they close in on a victory here in Week 3.
I got to say, the mental toughness that this team is showing early this season was real impressive. And going down the field and scoring on that last possession, putting themselves in position here to go 2-0, they're answering the bell. This team has leadership on both sides of the ball. Very, very impressive.
The kick is up and good and put one more on the lead. So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. The kickoff team out there to boot it away and 15 yards farther up the field after the roughing the kicker penalty. He'll start the return inside his 5. And didn't find much room at all as he'll go out of bounds at the 12. Offense set on first down. They're going to open this drive with a pass. Takes the easy one to the back. And he'll make his way out of bounds after the solid pickup.
Well, look, this quarterback has struggled a little bit in this game with interceptions. Maybe he was being too greedy early on. That time made a real good decision. And I'll tell you what, that's a nice catch by the running back because that ball's in the air a long time. You're throwing it all the way out to the flat like that. He looked like a receiver making that catch and getting extra yards.
Slammed to the ground, but not before he gets the first down.
They pick up the first down on the drag route. I know that seems like a simple route, but it's actually a lot more complex than what it looks like because that route changes based on whether it's man or zone. If it's man coverage, he's flying across.
And his 5th interception of the game, a miracle they haven't pulled him yet. Touchdown, Jacksonville State. How about that D coming up with a play like that?
You didn't think it could be any worse, right? You thought this game's over as it is anyways. Offense still throwing the football, still trying to make plays, and the defense just continues to pour it on, gets the pick, makes its way all the way to the end zone.
So much for the touchback. Here he comes. That is a decision he will likely regret. He brings it out of the end zone, and he's knocked down at the 10.
First and 10.
The Bearcat offense ready to go back to work. Well, the good news is they threw a touchdown pass last time. It was just to the wrong team, Jesse.
Well, that's an unfortunate part of the game for quarterbacks, but guess what? They do happen. So you've got to be able to turn the page here and lead this offense.
Well, I think you know this defense is going to be aggressive. They're going to jump routes. They're going to play aggressive. You got to take advantage of that. Maybe use that this time to your advantage.
Looking to throw on second down. And the quarterback is knocked down back in the 13. We hit the 2-minute warning, and this offense is desperate to make something happen and do it in a hurry. Third down conversions are a huge stat, and this one would be a doozy if they can pull it off. From the gun, wants to pass. He's going up top here late in the game. And they almost had another one. Rare is the occasion when you're happy to see fourth down, but it's better than throwing another pick.
And this defense has put a game together. Like, it is hard to put all the facets of defense together. Run defense, pass defense. They've been so good, man. Dialed in. You could tell they were ready. They were fast. They were physical. They dominated this football game.
They're throwing for it on fourth down. Snatches it on the right. And they finally get him to the ground. An easy conversion for this offense. Defense not exactly the perfect fourth down call there.
That's a great example of the receiver knowing exactly where the first down marker is. He got the depth he needed to get, so once he was able to make the catch, he already knew he had.
Throws toward the end zone. And it's caught for a touchdown. They're going to play this one through to the end, but this is pretty much window dressing.
Number 8.
And this has been a rough day for this offense, and finally, some good things to happen. Build some momentum maybe for the future. You know, that's the way the coaches spin it when you're getting beat up and you're getting destroyed. Like, listen, let's find something for the future. Let's keep fighting. Let's keep working. This team's done that, put some points on the board, so it's not all bad.
They're down big, but they'll keep fighting to the bitter end and line up for the onside kick here. They were ready for the onside kick and executed perfectly, and they secure the football. Jacksonville State has it back, and the Gamecocks will go to work. Firmly in control of this game. We'll see if they just try to run out the clock and get out with a victory.
Everybody on offense here should feel really good about their performance today, too. They had a really good game plan coming into this one, and they went out and they executed at a very high level.
Yeah, lights out, and this game's over. I'm interested to see the philosophy now. Do we keep chucking the pill and keep trying to score points? Because it's the defense's responsibility to stop them, or do they just run this clock and say, all right, we did enough today. We kicked them in the face.
From the 33, it's first and 10. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
And sometimes for the defense, it just takes one play, right, to create some momentum. Obviously, this guy's been eating them up. He's got over 100 yards rushing on the day. But finally, David, they get something positive here in the run game defensively.
But you kind of know that coming in. He's going to get his. Such a great back, and he's had a great day. Need to put more plays together like that right there.
It's going to be tough on this defense containing this guy because he's got that sixth sense to get outside the pocket, and at that point, he's throwing it and hurting you, or you can take off and run. That time able to get the first down. Big challenge for the defense moving forward.
This is what an elite team does. They know they're better. They go out. They take